Welcome once again, folks, as we start another episode of delving into the insane minds of false accusers as we continue on with the heroic imagination project. As we introduce, for the first time, Lieu Cipher, otherwise known as Mitchell. Please enjoy.
And respectfully, one known as Lieu Cipher. Is that
Lieu
how
Cipher.
that's pronounced? Lieu Cipher, I believe.
That's how I'm pronouncing it until he says otherwise, or she.
Yeah, that works for me. I just came to try and make an effort at dispelling some of this sovereign citizen magic.
Sovereign citizen magic. Gonna dispel some of that without any other words in his introduction. Not who he is, where he comes from, nothing. And he's just going to come up and pretty much sounds like a wild accusation. I like how he handled it, though.
But
Yeah.
So like you're one of the folks who may have seen me in some of these videos that they call audits, and you may have shown up today for like actual content and value about legal and lawful, but here I am um, acting like a fool. Is that what the bottom line is?
yeah, essentially, that's kind of what I was getting at. But
Okay, so go ahead. I mean, we can always interject because again, we have an unplanned and as you can tell, special guest. Right, there's many unplanned and still special guests, I guess you could say. So yeah, we can go ahead and put a halt to that, and I can stop acting like a fool, right, with all my ignorance, and we can kind of get into it. So let's start dispelling the quote unquote sovereign citizen because I'm not a sovereign citizen, right? Um, I'm just a man with rights from God. So, but we can go ahead and debunk and dispel. So, like, what do you have in mind?
I mean, I agree with portions of what both of you say, but my perception of it is completely different. And I mean, I kind of like the idea of how you guys think, but I feel like a lot of your purpose, and maybe I'm wrong on this too, but
Most certainly wrong. See, he mentions purpose, and that's actually the intent. And this is what Mitch is looking for, is your intent. Somehow the man thinks everybody's intent is an ill intent, and that's why he needs to dispel the illness.
I kind of distinguish the difference of purpose and pursuit, with what's your purpose? Are you posing? And what's your pursuit? What suit are you wearing? And so essentially what I'm getting at is I think that it's getting real messy when uh, you talk about redressing the government and things like that for the people or whatever you want to say, men and women who have declared themselves or whatever, or see themselves as sovereign, if you want to call it that, supreme chief, or whatever you want to call it. But essentially, the the government of the people, for the people, by the people, or whatever, has they have vacated. I guess the people got it. I hear the people got it back, after the Civil War, and then a couple years later, they delegated all of their responsibilities out to this quasi corporate government. And so,
But see, that's why you need to understand the difference between status and standing because I'm a man who retains my rights from God. And, you know, there is no benefit and privilege that takes the place of my rights from God. So while I appreciate the, ironically, the Luciferian perspective, and many times I will put that forth because there is some credence to the fact that if man and woman will not come forth and present themselves honorably and righteously, and intelligible fashion, then in a sense they are not. We could say not. It's not that they're not deserving of, but they're not necessarily going to be entitled to secure their rights, right? So this is all just cause and effect. It's the same cycle throughout history. So if man and woman wants to be free from regulation, they have to come forward and present themselves in honorable fashion. If they don't, we will go to revolution, which means complete circle, and we will have to fight each other because, again, we have here the dynamic, right?
And so, another episode. Waiters, watchers, and haters. False accusations. No supporting evidence. Wild claims from wild imaginations of people that want to be heroes for others. Stay in your own lane, folks.